I came up to silence rings and flew right on by the silent. I don't want to sound too saccharine, but I couldn't help but be reminded of your eyes. You know I always try. When each star looks just like the next, it all just feels so blue. All these light years that I travel, I still travel without you. Galaxies all around me, they all glitter with a passion. They say, hold on boy, one day you'll be back home. I lay surrounded in black sky, lost for all eternity, but time still moves on by. The brilliant comet's tails are still so gallantly bright. I could cry. There's no place to wipe my eyes. The vessel I reside in isn't fixed. These walls I swore were parallel now skew aside like this. But perhaps I might be seeing things. I've been alone so long I can't be sure. You would tell me what's wrong. When each star looks just like the next, it all just feels so blue. All these light years that I travel, I still travel without you. Galaxies all around me, they all glitter with a passion. They say, hold on boy, one day you'll be back home. When each star looks just like the next, it all just feels so blue. All these light years that I travel, I still travel without you. Galaxies all around me, they all glitter with a passion. They say, hold on boy, one day you'll be back home. When each star looks just like the next, it all just feels so blue. All these light years that I travel, I still travel without you. Galaxies all around me, they all glitter with a passion. They say, hold on boy, one day you'll be back home. When each star looks just like the next, it all just feels so blue. All these light years that I travel, I still travel without you. Galaxies all around me, they all glitter with a passion. They say, hold on boy, one day you'll be back home. When each star looks just like the next, it all just feels so blue. All these light years that I travel, I still travel without you. Galaxies all around me, they all glitter with a passion. They say, hold on boy, one day you'll be back home. When each star looks just like the next, it all just feels so blue. All these light years that I travel, I still travel without you. Galaxies all around me, they all glitter with a passion. They say, hold on boy, one day you'll be back home. When each star looks just like the next, it all just feels so blue. All these light years that I travel, I still travel without you.
Hello?
Are we live?
We are.
Oh, she never tells me.
I'm sorry.
You're louder than me today.
Ooh.
Your mic is popping off. How is everyone doing this fine Saturday afternoon or whatever is happening in your time zone? Hello, Essie Chan. Hello, Ash Win. Hello, Clara. Hello, Kagami360s T. Hello, hello. How are you guys?
How are we doing?
Explain. I bet once Bones and Ursula come on, the chat will be going nuts. I don't know.
Poppin'.
It pops a little bit. I'm regaining our YouTube following by actually posting things.
What?
Yeah,
You mean you have to post things?
I know. Funny
Oh.
that.
So weird.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. It's Saturday. I didn't realize that it is the first Saturday of May.
It is Happy May,
Happy
everyone.
May. So
Hello, Brave Chicken.
we probably should have been doing a game stream, but
Oh, you're right.
but I forgot. So we'll
Oh,
do that next
shoot.
weekend.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I forgot about the game stream too. Whoops. Okay. Next week, game stream.
Drop my tablet pen. I'm sorry,
oh
everyone.
my god. It's all falling apart
It's
already. We just started and it's falling apart. I don't know why she's working on Magpie when she's supposed to be getting Avo done.
Oh, you're right. I was doing corrections for the.
Oh, you're doing corrections right now?
Yeah.
Okay, if it's corrections, that's fine.
I'll finish up this correction. I think it's the last big one I have to do. And
Alright.
then, no, I also have to do another one, but I don't have it on my tablet, so
Okay.
I'll have to do it later.
Got some corrections to do.
Yeah, some correcting Trixie's face.
Yeah, make Trixie less pogged out to tell her friends. I'm gonna change the Discord message because it shows up like way too fast after the critique message.
Oh, okay. It does. It's right in there.
So last night we were doing tabletop RPG with some patrons.
It was really fun. I had a great time.
I was so nervous. I'm convinced no one had fun, even though everyone told me that they had fun.
I hope everyone had fun. I
Well-
hope our Patreon supporters had a good time. Because Bones made, we've talked about this before, but Bones made like a 9-point RPG.
Yeah, I did.
And so yesterday we were testing out the combat and Bones and I being like co-DMs. Which is good. I voiced a lot of the characters and Bones handled most of the like rolling and
Yeah, math
math and stats and
boy
stuff.
McKay.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
I would say. We have it recorded. I have to go through it,
Yeah.
and hopefully we can post it if anyone's actually interested in seeing that occur.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know how people feel
I don't know.
because I feel like every everyone has like a D&D camp. Well, sorry, I punched myself with my microphone. It's
my God.
falling apart.
It's all falling apart.
Yeah. I feel like everyone has like a D&D campaign that they put on their YouTube channel, and I hate it.
You hate it.
I don't know.
Oh
I don't
my
know what it
God.
is with me. Whenever I see someone put it, I'm like, ugh. I don't want this content. So I don't know how other people actually feel. Like maybe they're popular for other people, and I'm the weirdo.
I feel like most people like watching them, considering people keep making them.
That's true. Maybe I'm just burnt out on it.
Could be.
It feels like such a quiet day. Like no one's talking.
It's quiet today.
Oh, I'll actually answer questions today, by the way.
Yes.
It's Saturday. I need content.
I need content. Yes.
Actually, I need to sit in front of the computer and go over our past few streams.
Heck yeah. So, if you have any comment questions about writing our art,
Do you know how to watch things at double speed on after pre Adobe?
yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
After pre Adobe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
My
you
favorite
have to
Adobe
show
app.
me because like
Yeah.
if I could watch it at like triple speed, I'd get so much done.
Oh yeah. I think you go in, there's like a little dialogue thing that lets you change the speed.
You know what? You have to show me
Okay.
because
It's easy. Basically, you speed up the clips and then you have to unspeed them up.
is anyone here? Hi,
Hello.
Lawrence. I wonder if YouTube was mean to us today.
YouTube, boy, you being a meanie butthead.
Oh, yeah, YouTube's being mean. Can you guys like the video if you're here to like maybe? Okay, YouTube's mad.
Why is it mad?
Yeah, so
I
you
never know why.
send us a like so that YouTube knows that we still will obey our corporate overlords. Okay. Tell YouTube that, oh yeah, we're getting engagement. Please don't abandon us.
Please.
Please. We'll do anything. Yeah. You have to engage with us.
Or else. We
did I
disappear
miss?
from the universe.
Nothing. We just started.
We just started.
We just started. I have nothing to talk about except for RPs.
We have been having fun RPing.
Yeah. Well-
Outside of the tabletop RP.
Oh yeah. So we've been doing our witch RP. Our witch RP, one of them. One of our many witches
we have
RP.
so many RPs about witches.
Witches and fairies. Oh my. That's us.
Oh my.
Oh.
Yes.
We stopped doing fairies because Ursula was getting self-conscious of all the fairies, I think.
A little bit. But then I started writing a fairy novel,
Oh
so
my god. Just because you miss it.
me too. I'm like,
Yeah.
I miss
Fairies
the
are
fairies.
fun.
Fairies are great. I love witches. I love fairies. I love all sorts of like types of fairy stories. Same with witch stories.
Yeah.
Yes.
So our current witch story is really horrifying right now.
A little bit.
But we also have some cute things going on. So we were RPing our vampire, who is also. Thank you for all the cats. This is very helpful.
Yes, thank you.
So we're RPing with our vampire character Hazel and this witch who isn't a witch. It's complicated. Named Martin. And she's like a vampire, but the vampires are based on fruit bats. So there's like this tree that has blood oranges
It's my favorite.
that kind of causes vampires to happen.
Yes.
Again, it's complicated, but she was turned into a vampire as a kid, and her parents were like, "Oh God, no!" So they've stopped her from. They used magic to stop her from needing to eat, because if she were to consume a blood orange, the vampire transformation would take full effect, and she would become a vampire. So they refused to let her eat for years. She just would drink a potion every day, and she's kind of weak because of it. She's also trans, which is a big no-no in the world. She
That's a-
doesn't know she's trans, and we just call her Hazel because I don't want to dead name her.
Sorry, I was thinking about tropes of ours for stories and RPs.
Yeah.
So one of them is like curses. We always have curses
Oh
going on.
yeah.
But another one is like the magical realm or the fairy realm or whatever is always like kind of totalitarian and very like anti-LGBT.
The opposite's true in the Four Fairy Kingdoms.
Oh, you're right. The Four Fairy
The
Kingdoms is
the
very
evil
like...
kingdom hates women.
Oh, you're right.
but,
The
like-
evil kingdom is super misogynistic, but
Yeah. The rest
Yeah.
is very gay.
true.
But yeah, no, it's very anti-queer in the magical world. So yeah,
Making it difficult for our LGBT characters.
yeah, she's trans. She's an egg. She doesn't know yet, but I know it'll eventually happen. So I haven't given her a dead name because there's no point.
Meh.
So yeah, so one day she runs away from home because she's tired of not eating and being stuck in a room all the time, just like a single little room all week. Her parents don't really interact with her much. They're just trying to like fix her to save her from vampirism. So they're doing like all sorts of spells and stuff on her, and she just hates it. So she runs away from home, And when she's running away from home, she runs into Martin, who's like a little kind of a witch dude. We'll get into his story maybe. I don't know. I'm just explaining this all to you. But she meets Martin. Martin feels bad for her cuz she's starting to like have a really hard go of things cuz she didn't have her potion. So like now she's like really hungry and it's not suppressed. And so he gives her some like fruit and some bread, and she eats the bread and she's like, "Oh yeah, this is so delicious," but it's like disgusting to her. And he's like, "You don't have to eat it if you don't like it." And she's like, "Okay, good." And she like she gets to eat fruits all the time, and it helps her for a bit, but she ends up like hungry like immediately after eating the fruit, but it's keeping her alive, and she needs to eat a blood orange and complete the vampire transformation in order to like actually feel like satiated. So he starts working at a orchard that has a blood orange tree, and he obtains a blood orange for her, but not after like days of her like getting more and more ill and eating all of the fruit, spending all the money he gets working at the orchard. But yeah, she has finally gotten her blood orange, and she's feeling a bit better. She was starting to disintegrate. It was a bad time.
It was not a great time.
But while he was trying to obtain the blood orange, the tree attacked him. It grabbed onto him and stuck him with a bunch of thorns. And now he's feeling kind of off. You know, his arm hurts. He's got some wicked heartburn. He's coming home, and he mentioned to his grandmother that a few things about vampires being around. He was like, "Oh, she's a vampire. I've been a vampire girl. What's a vampire, Grandma?" And she's like, "We are planting garlic right now, and she is out of this house." And so they did that, but now that he's come back from the orchard and been stuck by the tree, it smells really bad to him. It's really awful.
Oh, no.
All he smells is garlic. He's like, "Oh." That's where we left off.
I did like a reply to our RP where I was like, he goes up to the tree and tries to take a fruit, and Bones was like, turned to me and was like, "Are you okay with your character turning into a vampire?"
Spoilers. Yeah, he's turning into a
Yeah.
vampire. It's pretty.
I've been getting a lot of subs lately. I don't know how to take it. Do you have any advice on what to do when that happens?
What kind of subs? Like
Are you talking
comic?
about
What?
YouTube subs?
Sub sandwiches?
Yeah, lots of sub sandwiches. You share with your friends.
Yeah, if you have too many sub sandwiches, you gotta share.
Yeah, those are gonna go bad if you try to keep them, so you gotta share.
I'm glad I don't have work for a couple hours. It means I'll get to be in the stream for a while. Hey.
Aw.
Oh, also, hey, AZ. I don't know why
Oh, hey.
I can't. Your name. It didn't. Oh my god, why can't I talk today? I feel like part of it is we streamed on Thursday, which was 2 hours of talking. And then we did the 9-point RPG thing, which was like 3 hours of talking. And now next day I have to talk again. I don't talk this much.
It's true.
I usually just sit around the house alone. If I'm talking, it's to my dogs, and they don't care if I mess up. I go bop bop bop. You know, it's the same thing as saying, "How are you?" In one ear, out the other. Doesn't mean doesn't. Oh my god! It doesn't matter the sound. They don't care. They're dogs.
Exactly.
Oh,
Hey, Jarl.
I added regulars to Nightbot. I don't know how to start adding regulars. That's something for Charlie to figure out. Like, I added Essie as a regular because I see Essie all the time. But yeah, adding people as regulars, they can send links. you will be
Cool.
allowed to link things if you are a regular in the chat.
There we go. I like that. So
Yeah.
then we can keep the bots away without, but still let people share.
Exactly.
Stuff. Cool.
Reward people for showing up more often. English go burr. I don't think I could
Mood.
speak French right now either. I don't think I could speak any language developed for. Okay, if I understood, like,
What about signing?
yeah, the non-talky language, the non-word mouth language, I might be able to do that. Though I am freaking stupid. That's what I am.
No.
I'm fidgeting with the like the little spinner thing, so maybe I couldn't even do that.
Lord, he do be trying.
He's trying so hard. I told you a whole story about
true.
witches and vampires without too much stuttering. What do you mean by adding regulars? I don't know either.
It's just a I guess like a role in the chat
Yeah.
that just it'll allow you to post links and stuff.
Let's see. Regulars. Did I spell it right? I don't think I spelled it right.
That's how you spell a regular.
I did. Oh. Maybe like there's like some way to do it. I need to figure it out. Whoa.
Oh,
Oh, I need to like
Oh.
add, and then you probably need to do regulars add, and then the name of someone in chat, and that would
Oh.
probably do it.
I see.
Let me see. Let's try. Let's add. Who should I add?
V.
A V, yeah. V. Let's see. So we do regulars add V. Let's see. Oh! Wait, no. I don't know what's happening. We'll see. User not found. Okay, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
V, you're invisible. I wonder if it's more complicated. Like you have to can't believe I'm dead. You might have to like link their thing or something or at maybe Chorls gets it. Nope. I'm not sure. I have to figure these kind of things out.
Bones, who do I need to design for Avo?
Me.
Bones McKay. No, because I've got Juliet, Feria, Lul, Aaron, Celeste.
Celeste.
What's her name? Celine. Celeste. Celine.
I'm adding a Celeste now.
No. The king and princess. Dawn.
I don't know. What are the
I
elements?
probably need Aurora.
Oh yeah, Aurora.
Okay, I'll work on Aurora.
Aurora.
I was trying to draw Akato, but I'm just not feeling it.
You don't feel like drawing cats?
I know. I'm appalled too.
A pod.
Yes.
I wish I was a cat.
Don't we all?
I don't know.
Don't we all wish Bones McKay was a cat?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'd be 100% better as a cat. Num num. Sorry. I can't see McKay and Gray on my Nightbot dashboard, so I don't know.
I don't know.
Do.
I don't understand anything about the Nightbot. The Nightbot is a mystery to me.
How's your kitten doing?
She's doing good.
She's large.
She's getting so big.
She neumes about like an animal.
Yes. Like a gosh dang kitten.
Like a kitten.
She's so cute.
She's so.
She gets along so well
frickin'
with the
cute.
other animals. It's great.
Everyone in the world should be a cat.
Well, What if we were a society of cats? Hello?
I looked it up.
Who
What
am I-
did you look up? We're figuring it out together.
We're doing it.
Large. She's very large. I should let her out, honestly.
We should go get her and show her off.
She'll just neum about like a little. I don't know. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable, and there's not enough interaction in the chat. I need the chat to be popping off in order for me to show you a kitten. Is Serena allowed to crush Miku yet? No, because she dive bombed Lear the other day, so she
Yeah.
needs to. We need to sit her down and teach her a few things about things.
Have a heart to heart.
Can I ask a question? Yes, please. Please
Please.
ask us questions. You have to use their channel URL? Oh, okay. That's what I thought. That's what I thought too. That's what my next guess would be. Okay, let's try this. I wish YouTube would let you link to people's, like, you click on people and go to their channel. Like, I don't understand that. Like, it's so hard to get to people's channels, right? So much effort. Let's see. No, like, I don't have any options to go to your channel. June just deleted Cole's.
Oh,
Oh my god.
hello everyone. Hey, refrigerated cart.
What did you do to Cole?
Cole?
Wait. What happened to Cole?
Did you delete Cole?
Did
Bring her back.
Nightbot delete Cole? Oh, yeah. Okay, Nightbot deleted Cole because Cole was going pop, 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 pop.
Oh. I thought Chorl was on the attack. I was like, why are we attacking Cole?
I think Cole got attacked because Cole kept posting the same word over and over again.
Oh, I see.
Oh my god, they're dead. Oh wait, no, June did it.
June?
Yeah, it was by Charles.
Chorl. What are you doing?
All right, what's next? Who's next?
Oh no.
I believe in you, June. Who knows what's going on? Let's not stress our only non-robot mod out.
Yes. Please.
I see spam. It was timed out. SMH. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Powerful energy. Not even Cole is safe.
Oh dear.
Oh my goodness. You guys can ask questions. That was something you guys said.
Yeah. Do you guys have what are questions about?
What are
comics
questions?
or writing?
That's a question. What is a question?
Okay.
What
Stop right there.
what makes a question a question? Is it
No.
the question mark?
Sorry,
Is
I
it the
keep-
little inflection? Yeah, you keep blowing me out of the park.
out of the park.
Fair enough. Cole's gonna come back with a vengeance. Pop pop. No, I don't wanna see what I'm seeing right now. I don't know. No. I'm sending it to General for you to see.
What's speaking? I know only procrastination on my comic script. Lawrence, work on your comic script, or I'm coming down there and knocking your clapping your ears. I don't know.
If phone spammed, I bam demand. If I spammed, it was because I give up. Do you see what I sent you?
Holmes, I don't like what you sent me.
I don't like it either. Show everyone. Show everyone what I had to see. And then I'll answer V's questions. You have to show this first. Very important.
I don't like it.
It's beautiful. It's growing on me.
It's not.
It's growing on me.
I don't like it. It's upsetting.
Get up nice and close.
Oh,
in those
nice and
pictures.
close.
Yeah, nice and close.
Hello. I don't like the eyes.
We're still so far away. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. She's beautiful.
Oh.
There's more.
Oh, you're right. There is. Okay. Hold on.
You gotta show me.
We got Charmander. The worst. And we got Eevee.
Oh my god. I love Spore too.
Oh, and I'll show you the worst of them all. You ready?
Oh god. It's Eevee, come on.
I'm scared.
He's beautiful. Show him.
I don't like him.
Show him to the world. Look at him.
What's wrong with him? His hands are creepy.
I agree, the Eevee's the best.
Oh,
At least scary.
I'm closing these. They're scaring me.
Alright, there's questions. Okay, so V asked, for short pitches, oh my god, don't yawn, don't yawn. For short pitches, like between 1 and 3 pages, how would you go about it? Keep it short and sweet. I feel like I'm overthinking it because it's so much smaller. 3 pages is a lot for a pitch. Oof. Like is this 3 pages of writing or like 3 comic pages? Like, is it a pitch packet? Like, I need to know the specifics of like what you're pitching, because usually for a pitch it's like 3 paragraphs is stretching it, because usually like a pitch is like the back of the book
Yeah.
where you want to have like a hook. Oh, 3 comic pages? Oh, okay. For your 3 comic pages, what would you do? I'd try and show diversity and show that you can tell a story. Like 1 page maybe to show how you can are able to visually storytell. One that's like interesting, almost splash pagey, you know. Ursula, opinions. This is about art.
Yeah, no, I'd agree.
Oh yeah, for an anthology, yeah, I want to see that you can make an interesting page. I want to see that you can tell a story through a page and make that still interesting. I want to see backgrounds.
Yeah, show off you can do backgrounds. Show off you can do like full body characters.
If you're
and
pitching to a
interesting poses.
if you're pitching to a werewolf comic, having werewolves in your portfolio is probably a good idea.
Yes, whatever the theme is, make sure you have that in your portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and show a variety of pages. Like have one that's like don't pick just like same old layout for all of them. Give one like a really unique layout, and yeah, try one as a splash page and stuff,
Yeah.
or a spread or something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, don't overthink it too much, but like I find the best thing to put in your portfolio is your favorite pieces, like things that you like are the best. Like pages that you really like are going to be the ones to put in, right?
Include ones you're proud of. I'm assuming
Yeah.
these don't have to be like in sequence pages. They can just be like a variety of pages.
Cole is being harassed. No pops in the chat. Yeah, including a variety pages. Yeah.
Yeah. If you have to create something for the pitch, then create like a 3-page story that uses like diverse paneling.
Yeah. If you have multiple styles, show the ones you want to use.
Yes, exactly.
That would fit what you're pitching.
Don't just like it, because if you can do a variety of styles, I mean, Yeah, for something like an anthology, just show off the one you want to use, even if you are capable of way more.
Mm-hmm.
You one day.
There was another question. What's a good font to use for my comic? I'm using Comic Sans. I've heard that there are better ones.
There are.
There are much better ones. Comic Sans is gonna get you in trouble. Comic Sans is a lovely font,
Here's the thing.
but it's a meme,
It's
and
a meme.
and graphic designers hate it, and graphic designers are a portion of your audience.
I thought you can insult.
Oh,
You're like, and they're mean catty jerks. No, yeah, Comic Sans, it's a bit of a meme that it's like very unprofessional. Because it's like a default font that's included on like all programs and computers. And yeah, there are nicer looking comic fonts out there. I recommend looking at Blambot, which is a website that has lots of specific comic fonts.
avoid serif fonts, please.
Yes, please.
Unless you have a good reason to use them. Yeah.
Yes, use a sans serif.
Explain what that means in case people don't know.
Okay, a serif is fonts that have the little leggies on them. So Times New Roman is an example of a serif.
They've got little extra bits.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if I were to draw a T, the T would probably look like this. You know, that kind of font.
Yeah, those are serifs.
It's usually what you'll find in books because serifs are really good for big paragraphs because they make it easier to like follow along the line of the text, which is important when it's in a big group of lines of text because it's just easier to read when you use serif.
Because it creates kind of its own line.
Yes.
That makes it easy to follow each line.
Yes. It's also easier to tell different letters apart, I think.
Yeah.
But whereas a sans serif has no leggies, so it'd be a T like that. Arial is an example of it. Helvetica.
YouTube chat right now.
Yep, that's sans serif. So those are good. They're very versatile. I wouldn't say there's like one specific reason to use a sans serif. Because you can use them for paragraphs of text, especially on websites. They're more common. But
why is that?
it's a good question. I'd have to look into that.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Miss Graphic Designer
I
isn't.
know. I should know this. I know they have a very modern look.
Yeah.
Um,
They're very clear.
yeah. They're
I
very
find
clean.
I find that they end up I feel like this is why I like why they're good for comic pages, but they kind of I don't know how to explain it, but like I think it's because serif fonts end up looking like a bunch of lines, whereas sans serif fonts end up looking like a visual element.
Yeah.
Like they tend to feel like they're more together, whereas like the paragraphs of text, like I guess serif just makes it look like book paragraph,
Mm-hmm.
and they're also not really comic booky.
So there's like a tradition for comic books to have like hand lettered lettering. So it looks very like bubbly and handwritten. It's hard to describe comic font. But it lends really well to being put in like circles. Because I find when you use it's especially apparent, like Bones was saying, when you use when you use a serif font like Times New Roman or something. Because yeah, it looks very like it looks like too boxy to be in like a speech bubble. And I find the same with like certain most sans serif fonts. I also find it feels out of place, but if you use something like a comic font, like Web Letter BB is one I use, it just all the shapes in it are kind of rounded and they work really well when you put them inside a bubble where you want it to like follow along the shape of the bubble, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. They also tend to be all in all caps,
Yes.
which is something you don't usually do
Hmm.
because all caps is actually harder to read.
Yeah.
People think, oh man, put it in all caps, people can read it, but it just because of the visual impression, it's easier to read in title case or whatever, or that one. That's why like street signs are in that.
Hmm.
Yeah, except stop signs. But
So sharp.
they've got their own look to them. But like, isn't it like road signs? I'd have to look because I remember this being a thing. Like, it's not street names. It's like those ones on the highway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like they're. Yeah, like those. The ones that like list town names and like how far they are away. Those are all in like title case because you can look at them and immediately read them a lot faster because your brain is used to doing that. Hopefully. But yeah, anyways, that was a weird tangent. But like, yeah, comic fonts are usually in capital letters, and when I is written on its own, it usually has a hat and feet.
Yes. So like that, where if it's in a word like idea, it'll be like this.
Yeah, that's like a traditional thing to do in comics.
Yeah.
Don't hand letter, you'll want to die.
Yeah.
The best way to hand letter, if you choose to do so, is to pick a font, write the font down, and then draw over top of it, and that'll give you like this look of it being hand drawn without you having to like finesse everything so much.
Yeah.
But even that's a bit of work. But yeah, that's a way to do it if you're doing traditional too, is to print off like the sketch layer of like the font, and then it's a lot easier to make it clear and legible, especially if you have poor penmanship.
Mm-hmm.
That or you like add it in post on the computer, but if you still want it to have that like look, get yourself some transparency or whatever. Do a light box is a good technique.
Yep.
Yeah. I need a hat or dot my letters, lol. That would be the worst to handwrite fonts. Yeah. Well, it's hard. Not recommended. Everyone I know who's started hand lettering regrets it around page 100.
Yeah.
They're like, why did I do this to myself?
Yeah.
Because you always will think, it's like everything. You think, I'll be different. I'm the exception. You're never the exception. Never, ever. Yeah. So that's fonts. Anything else to say about comic fonts? Because it's a big topic.
It is.
Yeah, like if you're gonna use a serif font, like have a reason for it. There's also that element of it, that there's like a visual language to everything. Like everything has meaning because it had meaning in the past, right?
Yeah.
Like you've seen things before and that has created what things mean, right? Serif font will signify that it's text from like a book. So if you're like maybe like reading text, or it's description in like a square bubble, like that would be a good use for serif font. And if you have a pompous elder god who thinks she's a poet, like you can use a really scripty font that's hard to read because what she's saying doesn't really matter that much. It just it gives an impression too. Like there's also that, because the look of your words is signifying the sound of them a lot more in comics. You get to use fun things like color and boldness, and like words can become visual elements in a much grander way. it's actually similar to graphic design, how like the words start becoming part of the piece
Yeah.
and can actually become like an actual like object in the room if they're like big enough, because that's where you move on to sound effects, right?
Yep.
But yeah, so that's fonts.
That's fonts.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm trying to make sure to expand on these points so like the YouTube clip is longer. Also, so you guys get more information.
Also, yeah. So
Yeah.
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 It's more
Yeah.
understandable.
Yeah, totally not just for the YouTube clip. Okay, what's the next question? There was a font question that came after the pitch question. How do you get motivation for comics / how do you find an idea you really want to work on? So I have like a huge problem, okay, where I'm one of those people that bounces from project to project like a loser who can't focus. That's me. I'm a chump. I'm my own worst nightmare. Like I get bored of things really quick. And what I do to keep motivated is not allowing myself to get too many projects, because like having one for me is way too stifling. Like I'll get bored and burnt out on something, and then I don't get like any writing done for like months. But having like 2 or 3 projects to jump between, like that keeps me like engaged enough. That's me from like a writing standpoint. So if like I have a few ideas that I like, and they'll fluctuate in intensity, and when I start feeling like, oh man, I need a new thing, I make sure I try the old things first, because there's probably something that I'm interested in to work on, and that's how like I can like stoke my engagement for like a certain idea and get motivation. I don't know what Ursula does because she is an artist, and I'm sure that's difficult. Explain, Ursula.
I find like with picking projects, a big part of it is like Bones is like, hey, because I work with Bones, he's the writer, so he'll pitch things to me and I'll be like, yes, this sounds amazing, and then I'll start working on it. For motivation, I find sometimes
Lawrence gets me.
sometimes sometimes it really does help to have more than one project to work on, in the same sense as like you can pop between what you're interested in, where like I tend to work in batches where it's like, I'm going to work on this project because it's like due. I have deadlines. Those are very motivating.
Here's something
but-
important. Sorry. Do you have a point to finish? I thought you were finished,
Yes,
but I'm wrong.
I
Okay.
have a
continue.
point.
Okay, sorry.
It helps to have different projects to hop around on, so you can be like, today I'm feeling like working on a black and white comic, work on that, and today I'm feeling like working on my color comic. And just having different things to touch base on when you're feeling kind of burnt out on one project can really help. And yeah, setting deadlines.
Okay, so what I wanted to add to that
Yes.
is don't make your side project another 5,000 page epic.
Yes.
Okay, if you're working on like a huge project, have some little side projects to do. Okay, like don't sign yourself up for 1,000,000 giant projects. Try and engage yourself in short projects, short comics, little writing things, because like with Ursula we do the illustrated novels, which are a lot easier to finish for her, hard for me, so they keep me entertained because writing scripts goes really fast. But yeah, don't make 1,000,000 giant projects, and a
Yeah.
bunch of you are going to feel really called out right now. But yeah, like don't do that. You're just hurting yourself, and then you're probably not going to get most of them finished, because that's a lot to put on your plate. And I know a lot of you have a lot of trouble with doing small projects, so do them. Get more into them. Have little illustration projects you're working on. If you're a writer, have short stories you can work on. If you're working with an artist, stop making so many comic scripts that are huge. God damn it.
True.
Like,
Be kind to your artist.
yeah.
Because the art part takes a long time in comics.
I'm hella guilty of big projects. And
I mean-
also taking and wanting to DM for my friends. Oh no. Yeah, big projects. I constantly start giant projects. Like I am hypocritically speaking to all of you right now.
Learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, like some fun project you can work on is like make like an anthology of like your own stuff. Like do like an anthology of short comics or something.
Yeah.
So then you can put out like a big book eventually, and you can work on a whole bunch of tiny little like 10 to 20 page things.
Yeah, exactly. All my projects are big, see? See? I knew all of you. Do you ever get overwhelmed by the amount of eyes on your work? I don't.
Yeah. I
Ursula
do.
does.
When I get too many likes on something on social media, I have to go off social media because I get so anxious about it. But you gotta remember, it's a good thing. It's a nice thing to get so many eyes on your stuff.
I love it. I love all the eyes on my work. Like, throughout my day-to-day, please don't look at me ever. But
Do not perceive.
I love people looking at my stuff and telling me nice things. And if they tell me bad, like Ursula gets scared if they're telling her nice things. I only get upset when you say mean things about me. But even then, I have so many. I just like attention. That's what I'm saying. I especially like it when people are looking at my creative work, because like I like YouTube because I like interacting with people and that's really fun. But like my creative work is so much more like soul put into it, I guess. I was gonna say effort, but I put way more effort into YouTube, surprisingly. Like, yeah. I have to put my main comic to the side just so I can do a small slice of life comic so I can get a tiny break from the main story. Yeah, exactly. My projects always come at the opposite. Like, it either starts out tiny and becomes giant, or I want it to be big and it comes out tiny. Oh, hello, Tara. Do you use
Hello.
sensitivity readers? I have not used a sensitivity reader just because I haven't, basically. Because like because when I started like my projects, like I didn't have the money to pay them, right? I probably could, and I've been considering it for like later projects. Like I kind of want stuff for like 9 Point, but I'm not sure. It's hard to find them. With Honeywells, I didn't because it was created by like all trans people, so it was pretty good there. But yeah, I think sensitivity readers are a really good thing. I came in late and then felt too awkward to say hello. No, it's okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. No, so sensitivity readers are like a good idea. Like for 9 Point, I want like I kind of want sensitivity readers because of like because of what's happening. Basically, what happened for me is that I'm basing it on like Canadian like wildlife and stuff, and then like inherently it starts getting like themes, because I wanted to write about like how cats like end up in an environment and like they destroy like native populations of like animals and stuff, and then like you base it in Canada, and you know there's all sorts of genocide basically that has actually occurred, and I don't want to like do anything by accident, because like because things like I don't know like tons of stuff, but I know things like sorry, I'm just having a lot of trouble like speaking right now today. Yeah, there's just like histories with all sorts of animals. Like bison would be like a big example of there being like pretty awful history around that, and I don't know tons, and sensitivity readers would probably be better for me than that. And then there's things like disability too that I don't know about.
Mm.
I don't know. Have you ever thought about sensitivity readers, Ursula Gray?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Because I've wanted to write stories that include like trans characters, so I'd want to get eyes on it from trans people.
For me, it's usually a money thing, because like I don't want to not pay someone
Yeah.
because that's like a lot of work, like
Yes.
for the person involved. It's like editing, you know, and you don't want to just do one sensitivity reader because that's only one person's view of things.
Totally.
You want like a wider sample, but that just becomes like a money thing because I wouldn't want to do it for free or whatever. And I'd probably look into it for 9 Point if we do well for the like Kickstarters and things. Because again, like I'm small, I'm a tiny boy, and a lot of the times I don't have enough money to like even like print. So
Yeah.
like that comes kind of first for me.
Hey Bones, how does this look for Aurora?
Oh damn, she cute. She's looking cute.
She cute.
How do her arms work?
That I should figure out.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it. All right. I hope I answered that question good. How do you know if you need to rework a story? Writing with color is almost as good as sensitivity readers, but it can be difficult if it's not personalized to things you're writing. Yeah, like I try to be like I definitely try to think about things more than I used to. And looking at those so what I tend to do actually when I am looking into like writing the other would be what that's called, right? When you're writing someone who has like a different life experience than you, like if you're cis writing trans. I tend to spend a lot of time like observing like community interaction more than I do like reading reading like how-to guides and like if you're learning about like a culture, like it I guess it'd be like a culture because like any group of people would have its own kind of subculture to it, but like whenever you're writing outside of your own like there'll be like a lot of guides, and that's like a good place to start. But I always like to go to like forums and things where people talk. Like if I'm looking into like a disability, like I like to read like Reddits and things where people like gather and like discuss things, like where they talk about like what ableism is like for them specifically. You get a lot of like personal stories and anecdotes, which is helpful. Because you don't want to end up like writing someone's story for them, like, and speaking over them, but like having some experience, knowing some of people's experiences, it can help you inform your character a bit more and add a little more more personality influenced on like how the world would treat certain people, if that makes sense. Like writing with color. Oh, dang you. Oh yeah, I use Reddit all the time. Yeah, like Reddit's gonna give you a specific group of people because you're gonna be looking at like wheelchair users who use Reddit. So that's gonna be a very specific group, and you're gonna find like other information from people who have live journals, you know? Like everyone ends up with like their own little thing. You can see what Twitter users are like. Yeah. Cuz I find like whenever you're writing like someone whose life experience is different, like you don't really know. There's a lot of things like you assume would be annoying that aren't, and a lot of things that are annoying or frustrating or difficult or fun, like your assumptions are usually wrong because like your view is colored by like how you engage with the world, and like things like I find with things like with disability is like able-bodied people have a lot of assumptions of like how miserable people's lives are. Like everyone's a trooper, and like just like a tone of being like, I would rather be dead than go through what they go through.
Wasn't there
That
like
energy.
isn't there like one I remember hearing about was like people talk about being like wheelchair bound and like a wheelchair being a bad thing when a wheelchair can be a super liberating thing for wheelchair users.
Yeah.
It's like that's how I get around. It's amazing. I can live my life because of
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's one I always see is
Yeah.
like people not wanting to use their like supports. Yeah. But like if you're like, cuz that's such a thing you do, like if you're not part of a group. Like I guess I could speak on like the trans thing, but like whenever like someone's writing a trans person, they write such a trans person, and like everything is like fixated on dysphoria. And I think like the big one I get like cuz like cis people, when they initially write trans people, like it's so focused on the body and and not even like secondary characteristics which help you pass in society and like not get hurt. Like it's always focused on like what bits you got,
Yeah.
like because that's what cis people are thinking about. It's like how does that affect that? It's so annoying. Oh my god, I'm just thinking about like trans characters written, and they never write like trans joy, you know, like it's always suffering.
Oh yeah. The way they introduce trans characters in books is by like someone misgendering them.
Breasted boobily. Yes. Oh
It's
god.
like,
Yeah,
oh my
men
God.
writing women would be another example.
Yes.
So many not like other girls. I just feel like if you're writing I feel like if you're writing a character who's dealing with any sort of like internalized ism, like I feel like you're gonna do a bad it's gonna be really difficult if it's outside of like you, and like it doesn't feel like something I think it's something you should approach with like extreme caution, because it doesn't feel like your kind of story to tell. Like, you know, I don't know, I'm going off in all sorts of directions. R/Nice Guys, that's the one I used to make my jerk character. I'll have to tell you about the YA trans book Baby Chorley read. I say Chorley, I'm sorry, because I'm not sure if it was written by a trans person. Most of them aren't. Like, oh god, and they all have awards too, and I read them and I'm like, this is not great. You know, the best thing for like trans media is that documentary on Netflix. Like that one's so good. I forget what it's called, but it's about like trans representation in media, and it's super interesting. Yeah. I'm working with a story of alien races, and it's a lot of work trying to avoid problematic implications that come with that. I didn't know about sensitivity writers. That would help. Yeah, that would definitely help. Cause yeah, when you're writing, cause you might like there's a tendency to think, oh, I'm not writing in the real world, so like I'm fine, but you are writing in the real world. You know, you're not in some other world writing a story. You're in this world, and anything you write has implications.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, anything you write has implications. It has a history, and you might not know about it. Which is fine. Like, if you ever make a mistake, just do better.
Yep.
Just continue on and do better next time. Do your best. I love and support all of you in your writing endeavors. Because I don't want to. Because I think my opinion on this. I know some people like might disagree, but like, I think writing. Okay. There's a certain level where it's like super harmful and awful, but an earnest attempt at adding representation to your story, I feel like that's more important than doing it like perfectly or even like really well. Like I'd rather have stories with kind of meh trans characters than no trans characters at all.
True.
Because like as a kid growing up, having stories about trans people was important for me, even though they kind of sucked and representation kind of sucked. I feel like as long as you try to achieve slightly better than average, it's worth adding a trans character to your story, as long as you're not like being super duper transphobic. Like I'd want you to like do better, obviously, but like I feel like we need more representation and love.
See, the more
Because I don't want only trans people writing trans characters. I just want trans people's voices to be lifted up for the stories that they're written and not be so like intensely scrutinized.
and the more stories we have out there that include trans characters, the less scrutinized the single trans book needs to be, you know?
Totally. Oh my god, Nightbot, chill.
Nightbot. Good
I'm gonna be spending all my days off next week working on my comic scripts.
Lord. Ooh,
Heck yeah.
heck yes. Powerful. Good luck.
The offer wasn't trans. Suddenly, that book feels a lot more gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, you have to kind of look at what time period things are written, because, like, we progress, which is good. I just excuse things a bit more, I guess, because, like, there's so few, like, characters, and we need more. Something that annoys me with alien races is the media hasn't intersex person is when aliens are shown as having weird sexes or described as being hermaphrodites.
Yeah, I hate that too. That
Yeah.
asexuality gets put on alien characters a lot too, instead of like human characters.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's literally dehumanizing.
Yeah, exactly. For
Yeah.
intersex people, and I'm sure non-binary people too, I feel like get
Yeah, non-binary.
get to
I
be
think
aliens in media.
autistic characters too tend to be aliens.
Yep.
If there's like elves get it.
Yep.
Elves end up being like our asexuals sometimes.
Yep.
Like they're it's very coded.
Yes.
in a very specific way.
Yes.
Yeah, paying attention to coding can be difficult if you aren't aware of what it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, coding exists. Characters aren't like explicitly something, but they're meant to represent a certain type of character, a
Yep.
type of person. And then there's some where I feel like people neglect to see the parallels. Like cyborgs would be the best example, I think, where like people neglect to think of cyborgs as people
Oh,
with
yeah.
disabilities. Like
Yes.
people like think of them as like robots and stuff, but it's just people with like different disabilities usually,
Yeah,
or they've been enhanced in some way. But like, yeah,
it's
like
either like consensual like body modification.
yeah.
It's either like body modification they've done themselves, or yeah, it's like an amputee who has like a prosthetic.
Yeah,
Like-
because that happens in Star Wars all the time. Like people are losing limbs all the time and getting like prosthetics. Like that's what they're getting.
Yeah.
Like you,
Yes.
like people don't delve into that, and I find that annoying. I guess when people don't delve into like these ideas, and then I also get annoyed when people like have weird assumptions. Not enough disabled rep in comics. Mo. Yeah, there's just not a lot of disabled rep in general.
I remember someone was talking about how like fantasy and sci-fi stories don't have like public transit,
Oh
which
yeah.
you would. I mean, depending on the world, but like, yeah.
If you poorly represent a minority, would that be worse than having a not having? Okay, it depends on how poorly. If it's like, is it like if it gets into the territory of being like overtly like transphobic and like misinformed in a way that it like is going to like what would the word be, but like instill like stereotypes, like embolden them or whatever, I think that's the problem. Like there's some tropes that are like we're done with them, like burying your gays, like that's not excusable at this point. But like I think like maybe like not quite understanding non-binary when you're talking about a non-binary character like might be like more forgivable. Like you guff up a few things, like I don't know how to explain it perfectly. Or like you have like a non-binary character and they're a cool character, but they're kind of tasked with being the sole arbiter of all non-binary and are here to explain non-binary, and like it's all on their back. Like that trope is annoying when you have one non-binary character and they have to speak for all non-binary people. However, I'd rather have that character there than no character at all, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, but then there's tropes that are like just kind of awful and you need to stop. And
Yeah.
if they're written poorly, like please stop.
Yeah.
Like outright like misinformation and like caricaturizing, like that's yikesy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's what
But
I would say.
It's like Bones was saying, like an earnest attempt at a minority character that's like a little.
I feel like
little
I always
bit is better than-
accidentally add disabled characters. Like I
Accidentally.
forget. like I forget that there's disabled characters in the Magpie, because we have like
Oh,
Dennis
true.
who's blind. We have Amy who doesn't have a mouth, and people are always asking me, well, how does she eat, blah blah blah. I'm like, none of your business.
Exactly.
Like just let her exist in the
Yeah.
world. Like people exist who can't chew or swallow food. Like just Google it. Like
Yeah. I know.
like chill. Everyone thinks Margie has vitiligo,
Oh yeah, no. She's
But-
just got a.
but she
birthmark.
has a port wines stain or whatever. There's Polyrep and Bojack. Heck yeah.
I need to watch that show.
Yeah. I feel like I'll relate. That's why I don't want to watch it. I'm trying to think of like characters that I.
Someone asked earlier.
Oh yeah.
Someone was asking how they put like a comic book together to like print, I guess, or
Oh.
put an ebook. So
I
yeah.
was popping off about like rep.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just vibing.
Sorry.
One character has 8 dads and therefore 8 last names. Oh my god. It's amazing.
Lovely.
Sometimes a family can just be all dads.
Listen.
Yeah, polyrep.
Love some good
Shout out to
polyrep.
some polyrep. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I just like representation. It matters and stuff.
Exactly. I know. Sometimes I feel bad when I get like, well, okay. I feel bad sometimes when I do that like, highly scrutinizing like an attempt at like diversity in fiction.
Yeah.
Like if a book I'm reading includes like a lesbian story, but it's not like a very good one, it's kind of problematic. I get really huffy. But I'm more upset when like a big publisher
oh
puts something like that out versus like an independent small artist. I'm like, I don't care. This is like who cares? You didn't have a huge team looking at your work to to check it to see how marketable it is, you know?
Like half the time the problems can be fixed if they just added like a second lesbian to the story.
Yes.
So
That's
that
it.
you have 2 perspectives.
Yeah.
Like, my god.
Yeah, exactly. But when you have a team with their fingers in the pie, like why wasn't this caught and fixed?
Yeah.
It's a bigger deal when a big author or creator or studio puts out something that's got crappy representation versus
Well,
an
the-
independent creator.
The thing is, you're saying indies try and corporations don't. It's because indies have to try because they have a smaller like that's kind of the problem is small authors and stuff won't be able to weather like a big crap storm about their work, but like corporations are gonna be fine.
Oh, totally.
You know, like big authors are gonna be fine if they do something bad because it's like disproportionate, right? And that's why you got to be a little nicer to indies, unless they're like either being like really blatantly awful or like they're hiding it but you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need Bones or Ursula to watch BoJack so I can watch them scream.
It's like how like it's always it's always like minorities who are gonna get it the worst from like if they mess something up.
Yeah.
Like it comes out like women will get like more attacked than dudes.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Okay. Anyways, all right. Okay, let's talk about how to put a comic book together. Ursula, explain.
So someone was asking if we use like InDesign. I would recommend it. I know there's alternatives to InDesign. I don't know what they are personally, but I know there are. Because InDesign can be pricey because it's Adobe.
Yep.
But we just use InDesign. It's a really simple layout. InDesign is nice because it allows you to pull in like all sorts of files into it, and they're not housed in the program, if that makes sense. So you can grab, say your comic page is like a Photoshop file, like a PSD file. You can just link to that in the InDesign file, and then any updates you make to that Photoshop file automatically update in the InDesign file.
Oh, it's so pog.
It's so nice. So you can you pop in all your pages, and then you can update them if you need to make changes, and then you export it as a PDF. And there's lots of like little things and tricks I could talk about, but I'd have to like show it on screen. And
Yeah, we'd have to do like an InDesign kind of tutorial.
stuff. Yeah, but InDesign's great for putting your book together.
It's like how Disney has majority white writers on things like Raya and Moana, where they're not really trying to have good representation, but people are like, yes, this is totally correct. Isn't it even worse than that, where they will like get people's like opinions from the cultures, but like not pay them?
Yeah,
Like,
they didn't. Didn't that happen with Coco or
I
something?
think so.
Or that it was based off a story.
It was
by
based
a-
off people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they never got any compensation for
Yeah.
for their work.
And as mad as you are, Disney's fine.
Oh yeah, Disney's doing great.
There's only so much anger you can direct at like specific like creators in those instances. Yeah, it's difficult. It's huge. It's like it's too big for our tiny little monkey brains. It's one of those things.
Our babby brains.
Me not knowing about the update thing and putting pings in InDesign.
Oh no. Where are you putting pings? Put in JPEGs.
Yeah.
Pings are for the internet. JPEGs are for print.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What Ursula
Or
said.
PNGs as you call them.
Yeah. NGs.
Yeah.
I used to draw a comic and you save as PDF or a JPEG. Which one is best?
It depends on what you're using it for. PDF is nice because depending on how you save it, you can edit a PDF. JPEG is generally a smaller file than PDF.
It's
so,
lossy.
Yeah, it's lossy, so it can look kind of crunchy. Whereas PDF is less lossy, I think.
I think if you're doing a comic though, a PDF is just turning it into a JPEG with extra steps.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
If-
you're like exporting, like PDF would PDFs are for like multiple pages and they're meant for print. Like
yeah.
they're moving towards like digital now. Like there's like interactive PDFs now, but like their main focus was print.
Yeah.
And if you're doing like a print PDF, like make sure to save your main file, your main working file. For print, yeah, for print, you can do JPEG. PDF is usually easier to like submit to people because
Yeah.
it's all the pages together. But I've been with like printing company places where you're just like, oh, here's all my files.
Totally. Yeah, I'd recommend putting them all in a PDF. Sometimes, like I remember, like with an anthology, they asked for TIFFs, which are big files that,
They're synonymous to like Photoshop files.
yeah, exactly.
They
So,
like keep layers and stuff.
yeah. So though sometimes you'll get asked for TIFFs, but generally, if you're printing something, like compile it all into a PDF. Generally, because most printing places will work with PDFs.
PNG is less lossy. Yes.
Yes.
But it's not for print for some reason. I forget why. Oh,
Well,
I know. I know. PNG is RGB.
Yeah.
Always.
Yep.
Whereas
Whereas JPEG can be.
CMYK.
Yeah.
Yeah. And TIFF can. Like TIFF would be like the highest quality of
Yeah.
them.
Don't put your TIFFs on your websites.
Oh god, yeah.
If you're posting something online, turn it into a PNG or a JPEG and
Yeah.
make it small. Don't put a huge file because it'll take forever to load.
Yeah. Also, like with you don't want your file to be like too big when you're sending it off. Like it's only gonna print so crisply,
Mhm.
you know. The dots only get a certain size.
Yeah.
And fight anyone who tells you you need 72 DPI for websites, because DPI doesn't matter for websites. It's 1,000. It's only based on the size of your picture.
Yes.
Like, DPI increases the pixels. Like, you're not gonna change oh god, it's annoying. Like, dots per inch matters, like for
For a printer.
for printers, because the printer will put so many dots per section of paper. But in the case of screens, a pixel is one dot. Like, you can't change it. There's not more dots within a pixel.
Exactly.
A pixel is a pixel.
So you could literally have one DPI for your webcomic if you wanted, and it wouldn't matter. It's really just, yeah, it's the resolution of your image. So like the length and the width.
For a screen, it literally doesn't matter what your
matter.
DPI is. It's the exact same size, no matter, like, as long as you have it the right size, it doesn't matter. Like, 72 used to be a thing way back when. Like, it doesn't change it. Like, I've tested this. Like, I did something in 1 DPI, and it's the exact same.
So when you're working on your comic, work in high DPI for if you plan to print it, and then when you're exporting it to put it on the web, get rid of that DPI.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. Just don't touch it. Like, you can do 72 because you want to, but like it won't really affect it.
For when having a crisis.
I had the same crisis, okay? But like, it really doesn't matter, because a 900 by 900 pixel piece of art, it has the same amount of dots per inch. Or it wouldn't even be per inch, because it's not based on inch when you're doing computer. It's like PPI or something. It's like pixels per something. I forget what it is, but it doesn't matter, because 900 by 900 will always have the exact same amount of pixels, whether you do 72, 350, 5,000. Like, it remains the same. Like, the only thing that really will increase with your DPI is the size of the picture.
Yeah.
Because it's always 1 pixel per pixel on a computer. And different computers will show it at different sizes depending on pixel density of, like, the computer itself. Which is, like, why you, like, I think on websites, like, things need to, like, scale depending on different computers, because, like, things like Retina displays.
Because Retina displays, they have denser pixels.
Yeah.
So that's why when you put something on, like, your Retina display, it'll look smaller than
Yeah.
on, like, your crappy old
because
monitor.
because the resolution remains the same.
It's the same, so it just shows
Yeah.
everything smaller and it'll look more crisp because it's condensed. Yeah.
That, or it will, like, stretch it, and then the pixels look larger because there's less pixel density. And then that would be the resolution changing, but that's between monitors. It's not the file.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, like, in cases where you're on a computer and things will rescale, like the size of, like, the images scale with like, stretching and whatnot. Like, yeah. That's why you need to test things on different, like, monitors, because that affects how you view things.
Totally.
I had a weird issue when posting my comic online for the first time on WordPress. I felt like the quality dropped, and it was something to do with the upload speed you wanted.
It depends on, I'm not sure about WordPress, but, like, depending on where you upload, it can compress your image and make it look lossy.
Well,
Like,
yeah. Well, compression is lost.
yeah, is lost. So
Yeah.
it'll compress your image and can make it look all gross. Like, posting things on, like, social media, tends to condense things or compress
Yes.
things, which makes sense because they don't want massive files sitting on their servers. But yeah.
Some weird compression option. Yeah,
Yep.
that's usually what it is.
Yep.
It's probably because It's probably preset like that because most people aren't like having super high quality images on their website. Like they're having like little small images. So when you put like a big honkin' file, they're like, whoa, we're gonna compress this.
Exactly.
So yeah, you want it to be the exact size. Like pick the size ratio, like the pixel size, like that matters more than resolution. Like if you know how big you want something to be, the resolution doesn't matter, and you don't have to worry about that kind of thing. If that makes sense. Because like whenever you upload a file, they literally don't care about your resolution size. It's all about the how many px by, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just your the width and the height.
Hi, I just joined your live stream. Sorry if you talked about this before, but what resolution dimension do you use for your comics for web and print? Thank you. Well, we were just talking about print, and resolution doesn't matter for print. It's the dimensions that matter. But like, yeah, Ursula, go off. My
Here, I'll
queen.
show you. So it depends on what kind of comic you're working on, black and white versus color. So my color comic pages are smaller. Well, I mean, I work on the same size generally, but their DPI is lower because when you're printing, adding more DPI to color doesn't matter. But if you have, so when I'm working with color, I use like 350 DPI, which is like pretty standard. So then that'll print really nice. When I'm working with black and white, I do 600 DPI so that I can get really crisp, like black and white. But I'll show you my file size.
Oh yeah, you don't want a giant file, but like
Yeah.
you want like a reasonable size file on your website.
So this is, by the way, this is for like working on it. So when I'm working on it, I work really big. And then when I put it online, I shrink it a lot. Sorry, let me look at my dimensions. So for my
compress the ever-loving crap out of files to put them on Etsy. I'm only allowed like 2 megabytes, I think, or 20 or something. Stupid.
So for my comic pages, I work at like 3,150 pixels by 4,725 pixels. So that's this ratio is 6 by 9 inches. But I blow it up really big so that I can get lots of little details in, and then when it shrinks down, it looks really crisp and nice. Yeah. So work really big, so work by like 3,000 by 4,000 ish, and then when you export it, put it in bring it down to like 800 pixels.
Yeah. Has 600 DPI colored comic page. It's fine. Like it's not
fine.
It's not bad to have more. It's just it takes up more space.
Yeah. It you don't get a lot of bang for your buck for
Things crash more.
it's just not as worth it with color. Whereas like at least I don't see a difference, but with black and white it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, work real big and then shrink it down because you can go big and shrink. You can't go small and then bigger.
I wonder if that's because you have a really crisp black and white though. Like if you did
True.
a crisp color, like
That's true.
maybe that would matter. I don't know.
True.
Yeah, so that's our DPI talk.
Yes.
I hate my line art, so I make them huge. So like smaller line art is better. Like when you work really close, it gets weird. But I don't know. I'm not an artist. Anyone know how to get over the fear of putting your comic out? Like, I really like the idea, but I'm like, will people ever even like this? Would they think it's cringeworthy? Ursula, you're scared.
Well, I mean, realistically.
I know no fear.
I know you're feral. I definitely get into little tizzies where I'm really nervous about sharing it, especially when it's like a piece I'm really excited about. Like I really like this thing, and I don't want. I guess like I get fear about indifference and like ridicule, I guess. But I also get weird when people like it a lot and I disappear. So, I think it's very important to remember that not everyone is going to like it, and that's okay. It's worth it to find like one person who really likes it. Because if you're making something, it's because like this is a thing you wanted to see in the world, and I'm sure there's someone else who feels that exact same way. And it's also, it can be comforting to remember that like you may see all the little tiny flaws in it, but someone else won't at all. And everyone has stuff that they like that has flaws in it. There's tons of comics that I love where the art isn't like the best art ever, but I still love the comic. And it can help to start small, like I don't know, like post something you're not super passionate about first, like put up some sketches online somewhere, or post some like promo art for your comic before you start posting actual pages. Just something to kind of like dip your toe in and see like it's not actually as scary as it seems.
And like Farwin's saying, you're gonna regret it, maybe.
That's
you
true.
only have so many years to live.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's better to...
YOLO.
Yeah. Exactly. It's better to do it now than regret later.
Question. How would you go about making ref sheets for your comic? I have a comic that I want to make. I have names and a prologue too, but I don't know if I should or how to make a ref sheet.
Well, I can show you.
Yeah, Ursula's got
my ref sheet.
Ursula's working on a ref sheet right now.
Currently. So, I find for me, I tend to do like, well, one, for your characters, I'd recommend getting a turnaround. So what I have here, I generally only need the front and the back, but if you feel like to keep your character on model, you need to see like the full 360. You can add more sections to the turnaround, but I just need to see like the front and back of their body and outfit and stuff.
I love the design too.
I'm really happy with this one too. So yeah, I'd recommend having a turnaround. I also go in and draw expressions and stuff because your characters will all express differently. And I want to be able to capture it, especially when I haven't drawn them for a while and I go back and like, oh, this is how she expresses anger or how she looks happy. Yeah, so a few expressions, a turnaround. If you have like an important item, like I don't know, a necklace or a weapon or whatever that they always have, design that as well. For backgrounds and stuff, I don't think I have any.
You don't have any of your 9.1s?
I don't think I have any on here.
I might have it on Drive, but I'll see. Oh,
Yeah.
you have the OCs shared with me.
But yeah, for like environments and stuff, I'd recommend you can do like a you can do a floor plan. I find that's like a helpful way to start. I usually do like a few sketches of what the room looks like. I usually just do it from one angle, just because like once I have like an above floor plan view and then like kind of like an illustration of what it will look like inside, then
Okay, I'm gonna
can translate
send you some visuals, but like it'll take a bit.
Okay.
So.
So yeah, Bones will send me some background stuff. So that usually is what helps me. For background characters, I'd recommend you don't need to do a full turnaround for them. I'd say do the full turnaround for like for main characters, characters that you're gonna see like a whole bunch of different angles of that show up a lot in your comic. For a background character who's just gonna be like maybe in one scene or just literally just a background character. Just have a quick sketch so you know what they look like. Yeah, and I find drawing background characters, it usually helps to draw them in a lineup so you can see them all together, to make sure they all feel cohesive.
I'll have so many examples for you.
So many.
Don't worry, I got you. I'm like,
Thank you.
no, don't print.
I'd also recommend with your main characters is grabbing them and putting them in a lineup so that again you can make sure all their designs fit together cohesively, and also you can check how like their height and how tall they are compared to each other, because that is really helpful. And I find like drawing them on their own, it can be difficult to see how they compare to
There's
each other.
gonna be a loot drop soon.
A loot drop. How do you create design for clothes? I want to make a fantasy thing, but I don't know how to make the clothes or the knight's clothes. Ooh, basing it off the weather is kind of cool. Oh, we got some sweet loot. Oh, dang, there's so much. Okay, here, I'll show you guys. So for some of these environments, I just did like, so this is the 9-Point Empire from our comic 9-Point.
What?
Oh, shoot, it's not on the screen.
Wow,
There we go. So for this is just like a concept sketch. I was just like, how does this little medieval city look? So there's like the castle in the middle and just drawing like, so this one is more for the vibes. It's very like loose. Trying to figure out color palettes and stuff.
Oh yeah, the I forgot that there's like a moat thing around the whole city.
Yeah.
That's important for the RP.
This one is like an actual like setting for a scene in 9-Point. So because it's like outdoors, I didn't need to do like, and it's a very small setting, I didn't feel the need to do like a floor plan and like a whole bunch of different angles. It's just like they're in a little tiny clearing, there's trees, here's the colors I want, here's the fire. Yeah, so this one is very simple. I just needed a quick sketch. This one here is more kind of what I do if I have like a more detailed environment. So this is like the royal dining hall. I think.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
That's where they're eating in that one scene.
Yeah. So there's a lot of close-ups of like the table they're sitting at, so I wanted like a good idea of what that looks like. Here's the floor plan. Here's a sketch of like how it will look like when I actually have it in the comic. So just like very general. They don't have to be super detailed. But yeah, just enough detail so that you can keep things on model. When
I'm
you're
just
drawing them.
sending you files because they're cute.
I get to show off.
Yeah, I guess so.
Here I was figuring out in the opening scene of the 9-Point issue 2, Marble, our main fella, he's like walking through like a little forest path. So I did kind of like a pulled out view to get an idea of it, and then testing colors and stuff, and testing his colors inside the environment. And then I was also figuring out there's some scenes where they're climbing up a tree, so I also wanted to get a good idea of what that will look like. So yeah, you can be pretty sketchy with it, but it's good to have reference. Bones also sent me some character
I'm
lineups.
sending so many things for you right now.
So here's some characters. So these are background characters, so they don't need super detailed designs. I think they show up in like 1 or 2 scenes.
Okay, I'm done now.
But it's good to have a nice lineup of them. Here's
They also, one thing secondary characters do that I don't know if you mentioned, some characters only exist in one environment, so it's good to make their colors work within one environment,
Yes.
while as your main characters have to work in multiple environments.
that's true.
So certain extras kind of almost become part of the set because they fit
Yes.
in it.
True.
So that's my hot tip.
That's a good tip.
You're welcome.
So here's a main character. So here's Marble. So he gets like a full turnaround. Here's some sketches of me figuring out colors and stuff, and then his expressions. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is. Oh my god.
There's so many for you
So
to
many.
show.
So here's a bunch of like background extras who like these characters don't even get speaking parts. They're just in the background. So yeah, so I have them in a lineup to check out their heights.
Some of them
Um,
were patrons.
Yeah, some of
Or
them
not
were.
patrons, Kickstarter backers.
Yeah, I
Had
was
their
there.
cats added.
Yeah.
Oopsies.
Yeah, so it's very much just like figuring out their heights, making sure all their colors work together, making sure their designs look okay together. I don't have anyone standing out who's like looks weird compared to everyone else.
Main man Marvin. Yeah.
Exactly. And then here I did a turnaround of the castle because this is like a very important setting that we'll probably get lots of views of from all angles. So I really wanted to figure out like how it looks from all sides.
Yeah. And you designed several outfits throughout things too, because like
Yeah,
there's like issue 1 has like different outfits as well.
totally.
If you want to talk about that, I can give you 2 outfits
Sure,
to show you.
go for it.
I can
Yeah.
do
When your
this.
characters get it like an outfit change, I'd recommend designing it too. Because sometimes you want to show like the passage of time, or like depending on your story, like you don't want them always to have the same outfit.
I'll try and find you some.
It does look a little like a cake.
It's delicious.
It is. I
Let's
would eat that
eat
cake.
9 point.
Yum yum.
Yum yum yum. I'm gonna find you some comparisons.
For creating costumes and stuff, because someone asked about that
Yeah,
earlier.
well that's what we'll do. I'm
Yeah.
getting you some art.
Thank you. So for getting ideas for costumes, one, I'd recommend looking at like actual photos of say like armor. Well, I guess you wouldn't find too many.
No, apparently you didn't give me. Fucking-
Oh,
How dare?
I'm sorry.
Oh wait, you did. Okay.
So look at photos and illustrations of like different armor.
No, I don't want to print.
Because lots of there's people who do like recreations, reenactments of like medieval armor and costumes of all different sorts. So you can find inspiration from there. You can look at like old photos if you're looking at something that's like turn of the century or Victorian era or something. You can find like photos and illustrations.
There's 2 designs you made for the future, and so multiple outfits. So you can talk about that.
Mm-hmm. So for the queen here, so she has like shapes she's based off of too. This also really helps when designing characters and keeping their looks like their look isn't like their different outfits consistent. Is like so Queen Snow here, she's very much based off like these really pointy triangles, but she also has these kind of like scalloped edges on a lot of her clothing. So here's her first outfit, where she's she also has like colors associated with her, so she's very like purple and white and blue.
Blue.
I'm thinking like her eyes and her fur is kind of blue tinted, but
I would have said gold. Is
oh,
the other
you're
color.
right. Doy.
The contrasting color to purple.
Yes, yeah. So generally, depending on what she's wearing, those are her colors that I stick with. I don't go too far away from that. Again, it depends on your story. But keeping a color palette pretty consistent is a good idea to make sure it's like, these are the colors your characters wear. It helps keeps them easily identifiable. It also says something about their personalities. But yeah, so I can take these shapes, and I gave her this dress, which is very light, very airy. The silhouette.
Looking good for someone who gave birth.
No, she's looking good. She just gave birth to a kitten, but listen, she's powerful.
She's strong.
Too strong. But you can see up here, like, I tried some different silhouettes where she had more of like a rounder kind of petal shape, but I went for something a lot more jagged, just based on her personality. She's more sharp. But yeah, but you can see her, even her silhouette is very like pointed, and triangular, as well as the shapes inside her clothing are the same. If I go to her next outfit, yeah. So it's got a very similar silhouette. I actually like smoothed out some of her edges here. She's less pointy, but
I think she ended up less pointy when you drew her in the
Yeah.
comic.
yeah, true. But it's the same idea. There's still triangles going on. There's still that scallop look, even though the shapes in the dress are different. But just using that same motif and colors for the character.
She's not pointed. Also, she doesn't have blue eyes. What are you talking about? Her
Oh
her
my God, I'm
literal thing is
stupid.
that she has green eyes.
I'm
I'm just catching that now.
sorry.
It's like plot relevant.
I'm sorry. Don't make me talk about things.
But yeah, like there's consistency in the outfits.
Totally. Well, yeah, so I'd pick a couple shapes and a couple colors and just use that across your stuff. The fun thing too about doing fantasy work is you can base it. I'd say like pick a base of something, and it doesn't have to be like a particular like fashion trend from any era. But just basing it, say your knights are based off of like their armor is based off like seashells and coral or something, and like base it off those shapes and colors. Like you can go kind of all out with fantasy stuff. Have
Yeah.
fun with it.
Have a good time.
Yeah. But it is helpful to understand like the functionality of clothing too.
Mhm.
Like
The main one I can think about is armor.
yeah.
Where you need to be able to bend your chest.
Yes, you need to be able to like bend over and move and stuff because you need to move when you're fighting. And
Yeah, because the chest plate only covers your chest, not your tummy.
yes, exactly. Yeah, so understanding that can be really helpful.
Yeah.
Trying
Trying to figure out like what is possible because like they don't have elastics.
Yes, that's true. Because like that was one thing that I was surprised about with like old stockings people would wear is like you'd wear a belt over top of like your stocking. It's not like we have now where they're very elasticy and like nylon.
Yeah.
And can form fit. you'd have to kind of hold your leggings in place.
Like, sorry, I'm thinking about things, but people would be like, "Oh, her tail's sticking out. Like, what about undies?" And I'm like, "Ha, you think they're wearing undies under those dresses when you have that many layers?" No.
No, because like the dress is touching the floor. There's so many layers.
There's multiple layers underneath.
Having underwear or bloomers underneath that,
Like
you don't need it.
It just makes it harder to use the toilet.
Exactly.
Like you don't want to have to take something off.
Yeah.
You just want to like move all the skirts away.
Yeah.
So her tail can stick out fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why I went on a tangent about the queen going commando.
How dare you? How dare you do this to her? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's all about ref and design sheets and clothing and stuff.
Bras weren't invented for ages. Yeah.
They were made because of the war, weren't they?
Something.
I think
don't
it's
know.
because they needed the metal that was used in corsets, so they started making smaller undergarments for the women.
I haven't even started the first volume of my comic, and I'm writing the second volume already. That's good.
Heck yeah.
Writing ahead is perfectly fine.
It's great. It gives you lots of time to prepare.
Yeah.
And writing goes way quicker than the art, so.
Oh yeah. Well, I wrote like if I write several volumes ahead, I usually can catch issues like early on. No. I think you're just flexing actually. You think
Yeah.
you're bad, but some of these people are like, "Oh yeah, I wrote the first issue." It'll be fine. Like, some of these people don't even have scripts, okay? You're my favorite person in the chat right now,
Yes.
okay? Yeah. Plain milk. I've planned out all 3 volumes of mine. Yeah, it's good to know where it ends.
Totally.
Because then you can, like, if you come up with a really cool idea at the end, you don't have to, like, retcon it in. It's a lot easier. Corsets were shamed by anti-feminists of the time. That's why we think of corsets as bad now. Some dude's political comic. Yes. I've heard about that, too. Corsets are cool. Alright. Back to Juliet, or whatever. Who are you drawing?
Aurora.
Aurora. It's not Juliet. Let's talk about Aurora's outfit.
See, because, like, I feel like she would, because, like, in the 20s, this is, like, 1920s inspired,
Mm-hmm.
they'd have, like, they wanted a very, like, flat and boxy look, but I
But
feel
they
like Aurora would be like, no.
No.
She's
Like,
showing off her curves.
yeah. Aurora's been around a long time. She doesn't care. Also, she needs, like, she just has, like, that cutout in the back.
Yeah.
It's just easier. I have the rough ass outline of the first volume. Oh my god. Y'all gonna hurt me. I'm only on volume I'm only on volume 5 of 9 Point. I'm also on volume 5 of Magpie. I am rewriting volume 5 and 6 of Magpie right now. I think they're good so far.
I'm really liking them.
Okay, good. 6 isn't good because it doesn't exist, but 5's going alright.
It's going good.
I have time.
Yeah, I'm I'm gonna be working on 4 for a while.
Yeah, and then we'll take a break to do some 9 Point.
Heck yeah.
We'll do, like, we won't complete an issue of 9 Point. We'll do, like, maybe all of the designs or something.
Okay.
Or I guess you could work on the designs on the side too, because sometimes you want to do something other than Magpie.
True. Sometimes you need a break.
I've kind of already released my first comic too, and I'm starting to work on the second. Congrats. Proud of all of you.
Good work, team.
Yeah, we got this. I need to, like, make a clip for tomorrow, and Ursula will have to, like, quickly make art for it, so...
Oh, heck.
Oops.
Oops.
Not tomorrow. Monday. We're good.
Oh, you're right. Saturday.
Yeah.
I was like, oh god, it's Sunday.
Oh
Where
my
did the
god,
weekend go?
same. We had a poppin' night with
We
the...
did. Fun.
Sorry, I just keep spinning this thing forever. So fun. I need a fidget spinner. I didn't realize they were fun. Give me a fidget spinner. I found out I can put my bracelet on top of this, and then it, like, spins with the bracelet on it. It's crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, damn.
Well, watch this. Wait, oh no. I didn't balance because it was...
If you want to have a custom dimension for your book, you have to create the panel borders yourself. But I do not know how to do that. I'm
Ursa doesn't
not
care.
sure what you mean.
I
I made a question earlier, but I don't think you guys noticed.
What
Oh,
was your question?
Tell us. I'm sorry we
Features.
missed it.
Friendly. Oh my god. Okay, so for my comic, the main character starts young and grows up through the comic. Should I make a separate ref sheet for her younger self, or just put it all on a big ref sheet? It doesn't matter where you put it. Like,
Yeah.
it's for you to, like, reference.
Exactly.
We do that too in 9 Point. Like, everyone's growing up.
Yep.
So
I tend to do them separately, but I look at the other versions for reference as I make their new reference. Yeah, it's totally up to you. If it's easier for you to have it all on one sheet, then go for it. I just gotta practice a new art style for the intro scene of my second chapter. I'll all be set to go. Heck yeah.
sorry. Sorry, I'm Ursula right now.
Gosh, Bones.
Okay, you okay?
Your videos are helping my friend and I create
Oh.
comics? Aw.
You guys interact with them.
Okay, the YouTube emojis are weird. I agree. How do you guys lay out your panel borders on pages? I'm a weirdo. I draw them by hand, so. I usually I'll just hand draw rectangles. Or, use the, what is it? The marquee tool? Is that what it's called? This one? I'll use that and then add a stroke around it. Oh, hold on. We have something to show you. Okay.
It's Katsune Miku.
Hatsune Miku has returned.
Wiggly right now.
Are you wiggly? Hello, baby. Look at this girl.
She's traumatized.
Aw, Miku, Miku.
Say hello to chat. Say hello.
Thank you. Thanks, Miku.
No, Attica, not. We're not wrestling the cat, not on stream.
Away she goes. Hello. She's so cute. I love her so much.
Oh, she's saying hello to Madoka.
Oh.
She's like, I'll be your friend.
She's rubbing on everyone. There she goes.
She just zooms around the house all day.
She does. She's just running all the time.
Her and Lyra are friends. Malthea doesn't like her.
Yeah.
She's hissed at her
Yes.
a lot.
She's like, stay away.
back. Don't like you.
Yeah.
What music is this? It's Patricia Taxon.
Yes.
That's a command I need to add to Nightbot. Just music, and then I can link to what we're listening to.
That'd be good.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on drawing on phone with finger?
If you can do it, it's good.
Yeah.
I find it difficult, but if you can do it, that's awesome. You can draw anywhere.
More powerful. You're
Exactly.
too powerful for us.
There's no correct medium. It's just whatever works for you. I did actually used to do that when I had to ride around on the bus a lot. Back before I had a car, I used to draw on my phone, just doing like quick sketches and doodles and stuff to keep myself busy. But it would kill my battery really quick.
How long have you been drawing?
I've been drawing basically since I was a kid, but I started doing comics professionally, I guess, in 2012
When she was a baby.
when I was 17. But yeah, that's when I started posting webcomics.
Actually, that's not when you started.
We never will talk about this. You will never know my past.
Oh my god. She did BL.
I did little BL comics when I was like 13.
Yeah, on Smack Juice.
And I had friends in high school who were like, wait, you drew that? I read that.
Oh god, that's mortifying.
I know. I was like, what? But yeah,
Comics is small.
it do be. But yeah, that's my origin story is little BL comics on Smack Juice.
Yeah. You took them all down, right? You're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ruined her. Madoka.
Madoka. Oh, there she goes.
Beta's chasing her. They just run all
They run
together.
like heck.
She's so big today.
I know. Every day we like go. We have her like in the bathroom. That's her little home base. And every
Yeah.
time we go to like see her in the morning, she's bigger.
Yeah, because kittens get up to trouble at night when
Yeah.
you're not watching them.
So she's only out and about when we can supervise until she's a bit older.
Yes. Because
Oh
the
my
other
God, I
ones learn to eat plastic bags when we weren't paying attention.
I keep drawing Aurora with no eye patch.
Yeah, she's got an eye patch.
Do.
All right, guys, we're done.
We're done.
I'm done. I feel lightheaded because I realize I haven't eaten today, so
Oh,
I'm
heck.
gonna do that.
All right. Well,
Did you learn anatomy, or are you self-taught? Self-taught.
Self-taught. I should say I never went to art school. I went to an arts high school, but I never went to college.
Yeah.
You don't need no stinky degree. You can
Yeah.
live your dreams.
We're gonna leave. We will see you guys on Thursday at 6:30ish Eastern Standard Time, or you can come back next Saturday for the game stream.
Yes. So we'll see you then. Goodbye, friends. Subscribe. I think that would also help us with our YouTube overlord. Thank you. Goodbye.